Building a simple HTTP server in Python, an informative guide. Python is a versatile language, and one of its strengths lies in its ability to quickly set up simple web servers. Whether you're testing an application, serving files, or learning about web protocols, Python's built-in libraries make it easy to get started with HTTP servers. This tutorial will guide you through the concepts and steps to build a simple HTTP server in Python without diving into the code. Understanding HTTP and web servers. Before building a server, it's crucial to understand what HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, is and how web servers operate. HTTP is a protocol used for transferring data over the web, and a web server is a software that handles HTTP requests and responses. When you type a URL into your browser, it sends an HTTP request to a server, which then processes this request and sends back the appropriate response, usually an HTML page, an image, or a file. Python's built-in capabilities. Python provides several built-in libraries for handling HTTP requests and responses, with http.server being the most basic one. This module includes classes and methods that can be used to create a simple HTTP server, capable of serving files, handling requests, and sending responses. Key components of an HTTP server in Python. 1. HTTP request handling. When a client, such as a web browser, sends an HTTP request to your server, it includes information like the requested URL, the method get, post, etc., headers, and sometimes a body in post requests. Your server needs to parse this request and determine the appropriate action, whether it's serving a file, processing data, or returning an error. 2. Serving files. A common task for a simple HTTP server is serving static files like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, images, or other resources. Python's http.server module provides mechanisms to map URLs to file paths on your server, allowing it to serve these files when requested. 3. Generating responses. After processing a request, your server must generate a response. This typically includes setting the appropriate HTTP status code, e.g., 200 for success, 404 for not found, setting headers, like content type, and including the body of the response, e.g., an HTML document or a JSON object. 4. Routing. While a simple HTTP server might only serve static files, you can enhance its functionality by adding routing. Routing is the process of determining what to do based on the request path. For example, your server might return different content based on whether the user requested /home, /about, or /contact. 5. Handling different HTTP methods. An HTTP server must be able to handle different methods like get, post, put, delete, etc. For example, a GET request is typically used to retrieve data, while a POST request might be used to submit data to the server. 6. Logging. For debugging and monitoring purposes, it's useful for the server to log incoming requests, including the request path, method, and response status. Python's http.server module has built-in logging capabilities that can be customized to suit your needs. Setting up the server. Setting up a simple HTTP server in Python is straightforward. The http.server module can be used to create a basic server with just a few lines of code. The server will listen for incoming connections on a specified port and handle requests according to the logic you define. 1. Importing the necessary modules. Python's http.server is typically the core module used. You might also